So guys, I want to talk today because we have a number of people that are getting into the technology, and I want to make sure that we're getting the most out of it. So there's a few things. Richard, this is directly into your usage as well, where there are ways to interact with AI tools that are more efficient and going to save you time, save you money, save you everything. And I want to cover some of those things. The very first thing I want to cover, which is thinking about the type of task that you're actually trying to do, right? If it's a simple thing like, hey, look at this CSV file and compare these things. If it's something like that, if you're asking it to do something that's going to require it to go think and develop, and there's this type of task, and this is the first thing I want to show you guys because it's one of the most immediate impacts you can have on how much tokens are being utilized in these simple things. So right in your dashboard under settings, you can choose the skill. Rob mentioned this already. I would say if you guys are doing most of your tasks can be done on like something more simple. If you are doing something, like I said, it's a complex task, then I want you to also do this. Break your task into components, right? You like if you were speaking to a person, you wouldn't want to say, hey, here's 15 things and then figure it all out. You would want to give them a job that's doable, right? If it's something you couldn't figure out yourself, maybe it's a good idea to explore with AI, but you want to make sure that the requests that you give it are bite size, manageable. The most important thing of this is because it's all new, right? The technology is new, the integrations are new, and your use with it is new. I'm also recommending that your usage be bite size, at least to start. This is what we mentioned to Richard is something called scale, right? Where you don't first ask it, hey, generate 10,000 leads for me. That'd be odd. You give you a million leads, right? Because that's going to consume a lot of credits and activity and brain motion. Who knows if those leads are even the right targets? So instead, what you want to do is do everything in a small batch test first. Hey, can you do this right? Yes. Okay, great. And then you can observe if you're cost sensitive, put it on a lower model and then break your task up into smaller tasks. Once you have proven that it's effective at what you're doing, the efficiency, the model's working, then you can say, now do this 100 times, do this 1,000 times. You don't ask it to do something 1,000 times until you know that it's doing one thing perfectly. That's something important right now because it's all new, right? All the AI, they're changing everything every day, right? Claude and OpenAI, they're constantly updating these models and the way that they interact and think. So the way that we interact and think with them should also always be changing and updating. And that's why I'm always advising to do things in bite-sized tests, because we can otherwise just waste a lot of time, right? You're like, hey, do this giant thing. And then it spends 5-10 minutes. It doesn't matter which AI tool, right? A bunch of time wasted. Even if you're not token based, like if you're just using even a free chat GPT or something, it's just going to waste your time by asking these large complex things. So my advice for things like lead gen, things like, hey, do these personalized emails, do them in small batches first to ensure the quality. And once you've ensured it's efficient, it's working well, then we can increase the scale. And we can also manipulate which model we're using to extremely make an extreme difference in the cost and savings. The last thing I will say, guys, is with any model, ChatGPT, Claude, Dubb AI, any of these tools, it is also based on the length of the existing conversation. So let me show you guys the difference here with Dubb AI. So if you're talking to Dubb AI inside of Slack, right, you're over here. This is one conversation. If I continue to talk to Dubb AI in this one conversation, Claude, ChatGPT, all of them, they all work the same way. And here, let me just also show as the example. If I'm in ChatGPT and I'm in just one chat, or Claude, again, it doesn't matter. If I'm in this one conversation, I'm continuing it and continuing it and continuing it. That is going to continue to rack up exponential token cost, exponential usage. You're going to reach your limits of any AI tool much faster when you're continuing in the same thread of conversation, because what's happening is it has to rehash, it has to review every single step in that same conversation to make sure that it's following along. And it's not an efficient way. if you're really trying to struggle your way through a problem, through a conversation, that's one thing. But if you're like, hey, do these 100 activities, and it's like, oh, I got stuck here. It's like, oh, well, try to go do all 100 activities again. That's something you would want to avoid. You would say, hey, do this one thing. Let's make sure this is perfect. Okay, great. Now do it 10 times. Is that perfect? Okay, great. Now let's automate this. You wouldn't automate it until you've proven that it's working at the scale of 1 to 1, 1 to 10, and then 1 to many. So all three of those levers you guys have, the model, the scale of the action, start with one, and then the length of the conversation. So within Dubb AI, you simply start a new conversation, right? You learned what you needed to here. Great. Go start a new conversation and say, take this CSV file that you just generated. Here, I'm going to give it to you. Or access this Google Drive and then go do these things with it. So that would be all three of those levers: new conversations, model selection, and scale of activity. Those are the three most powerful tools to save your AI tokens and credits, at least for right now. Eventually, this stuff is going to get smarter where you don't really have to pick your model or be so aware of it. We're working really hard on providing more of that intelligence and some guardrails. But those three things will make sure you don't have massive costs on single bills. Eventually, guys, if you ask it to do something like generate 1,000 leads, but you fine tune that, that's going to be extremely valuable for you, right? It's going to be very comparative to any other lead gen service, right? Maybe more competitive. And in fact, if you guys are using anything like Apollo or Seamless or Zoom Info, I want you to compare these because we've done some massive optimizations today, exactly today, on the lead gen skills. And again, only for B2B right now. And I also want you to take with that the grain of salt that I gave, which is more specific, small batches. Don't go tell it to generate 1,000 leads until you've completely refined that process of what one lead looks like. So anyway, those three levers, and that will end up saving you guys a lot of time and headache with any AI tool that you're using. So,
Hey,
thanks.
Darius, related to that, Donald had asked, do you have to create a new channel with each conversation?
No. See, yeah, great follow-up question. It's not a new channel, but it would be a new topic in the same channel. So right here, market research, right? Ruben asked actually here for it to do some market research. And then I got my market research that I wanted. So I wouldn't in this same conversation, unless I wanted a follow-up question on that research, I wouldn't continue in this conversation. I'd say, okay, well, there's what I needed to know is this. There's the bullets. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to go over here now and take that information about digital SDRs. And now I'm going to say Dubb AI regarding digital SDRs. Let's draft. And so now it's not a new channel. It's not a new, it's just a separate conversation in the same thread. Of course, if it's unrelated, perhaps I'm going to take this research and now I'm going to go put that in lead gen, right? I did some research over here about who I should, generate leads for. Hey, Dubb AI, build me the exact criteria I need to use for my B2B business to generate leads. And then it generates a prompt. And then you take that prompt over to the lead gen channel and start a new conversation and say, great, take this perfect prompt, Mr. Lead Gen, and give me the thing. So not a new channel. I would say you want a new channel for a completely new topic or subject, right? It's not lead gen, it's not market research, it's not proposals, it's something else. Then you'd want a new channel. Otherwise, just a new conversation. Yep. Perfect question. All right, good.
Yeah, very good
Editor's
question.
notes too. I think that's just one little clip you can, unless Ruben has something to tail end on it, then put them together.